The early block for an actor is, and by early, I'm not judging it as it's a very healthy, normal block. Some people don't have it, which I find astoundingly cool. I'm hoping my son doesn't. Yeah, I'm sure I'll fuck him up in other ways, but I don't think he'll be somebody who's introspective or introverted or afraid to connect. But a lot of us come to the craft, and what we're actually trying to seek is some kind of conduit to or permission to actually connect. And a lot of the material that you study is actually connected material. And so it's fear of conflict. And so I can't actually look somebody in the eyes. Or all I do is conflict because that's how I feel natural and easy. Or it's fear of judgment, like a terror of judgment. Every time somebody's looking at me, I feel like I'm being studied or judged negatively. Every time you look at me, the voices that are in my head trigger and I start going into a negative spiral. And so we hide. And we put the blinders on and we hide ourselves. And a lot of humanity's in that way. So when you do meet somebody who's actually intensely connective, it's jarring, and it's also addictive. Finding that clarity in your lives is incredibly important. You need to be, I don't understand. I do, when I counsel. I don't want to go into that, but I'm also a part-time counselor. And I get it, and I talk people through it. And I understand addictions from my own history. But at this point in my life, I do not understand why anyone would want to inebriate themselves. Life is so fucking exciting. It's so enticingly exciting and so fucking amazing that I seek clarity wherever I go. I want to be on so I can connect with people, so I can get out of my head. Because being in my head sucks. You should hang out there some days. Brutal. Brutal. Yours is probably pretty shitty too. But inside my head, oh, wow. Like, shut up, Mom. For those of you who are really young, this is never going to get better. You will not solve what's owning you. Nor do you want to have it solved. It's an impossibility. If you're going to see a counselor or somebody and they're trying to solve your issue, they're ignorant. Because you cannot. But nor do you want to. Because if you solve your problem, you're removing your humanity. You're removing your specific personality trait. You're removing the thing that makes you you. What the fuck? Where was I? Clarity! Focus! It's the desire to actually be there and connect with somebody. And oftentimes, I thought somewhere in my mid-30s, I'm teaching this shit, I thought I'd really gotten it. Oh, I really know how to focus on somebody and quiet the voices in my head and really turn my ego off and really be affecting somebody else and be really on them. I can do what Sean Penn does, you know? And I think it's a never-ending process. You learn to do it better and better and better and better and better and better as you go. But there are times where it starts becoming this sublime, weird thing where you're actually inside somebody else. I know it makes us all giggle, but our jobs is to penetrate. We penetrate each other's consciousnesses and actually fuck each other up. That's what we do as actors. Because in the heightened moment, when your characters are dealing with cancer, the car crash, the aliens, the monster, hopefully something more like, you know, the falling in love, you know, it's in these heightened situations, they escape their heads and then become connective. When I'm yelling to the paramedic, "Come here and save my son," I'm not speaking. I'm actually pulling this human being in. I have that power. Yeah. You know, we are intensely focused when we're going through a shock of existence. And you guys need to be able to hit that mark and do that. It's terrifying to look at somebody and actually have them penetrate you. Because also just, if you can't give it back, also just stuff in your head's going to start going off. And so you start shutting down and shutting out. And you know what it's like. You know what it's like to go through a whole day and go, fuck, I didn't look anybody in the eyes. I didn't actually listen to anybody. I didn't really connect. You know? I mean, not to get all weird in your asses, but it's making love with your eyes open. It's looking at somebody and actually engaging them and letting them engage you. It's provoking, you know. That's what we do. But people, it's terrifying, and people get really scared of it, so they hide from it. And so there's entire schools, the neighborhood playhouse and the Meisner technique. The Meisner technique is solely devoted to getting people out of their heads and connecting to other people. And it's a great fucking exercise. It works really well. And I went there, and I'm certainly not going to. Well, I might a little. But it's 1/3 of the pillar. They dropped the other 2, and then I graduated, and then I was really fucking, I was on, and listening, and going. And pinch and ouch me, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm on. But I had no idea how to act, right? So it's like, I got hired at the National Theater. The director's like, say the line. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not getting it from her. He's like, shut the fuck up, just say the line. You know? Because there are two other pillars.